trail. I don't live within the tribe's residential area within reservation boundaries. One point, I have an email that hopefully the rest of the board members have received today, and if not, and this is from Miami-Dade County, from the office of Commissioner Daniela Levine Cava, District 8 in Miami-Dade County, and it's from one of her Chief of Policy and Planning, Sean McCracken. And here, an individual from Collier County inquired to ask the process how we could contact Miami-Dade County and to withdraw its resolution. The tribe has officially sent communication to Miami-Dade County, their opposition, and has also urged Miami-Dade County to rescind their resolution of support for the River Grass Greenway. But in the efforts to further continue making, as we are here today, to do the same thing in Miami-Dade County, a question was posed to them about the process. And in response, Mr. McCracken replied in his email, and this was actually sent to Dr. Karen Dwyer. And it says, "Hi Karen, I am glad to hear that Collier County is considering rescinding their support. Please let us know how it goes. I recommend to the activists on the sides of the glades to meet the original sponsor to get his support." And it continues to go on, and it's highlighted. I'll leave a copy for y'all in case you don't have it. But this is the important part. In the absence of a rescission of the policy, our effort has been to get our Parks Department to step back from the product of their making. And in that regard, we have received assurances that Miami-Dade Parks was not going to take this process any further than finishing the report. The county has no funds to build any segment of the trail, and we much rather concentrate our limited resources on existing trails and greenways that have community support. And that's highlighted in red, and I can leave it. You can make copies. And to reiterate, and I'm glad to hear the executive director mention that a very important component was left out, and the National Park Service knows better. They have worked on many different occasions and consulted with the tribe. They know what their legal responsibility is for government-to-government consultation, and that process did not occur here. Unfortunately, the MPO has been thrown that burden of an issue that's not of their making. The county, Collier County, and the Collier County MPO have been pulled into a situation of not their making. And when looking at this government-to-government consultation, if it would have been done in the beginning, all parties involved would clearly have understood our position. And as the tribal attorney has mentioned, our tribe, our people, we go to the ends of the earth to be good stewards to this land. Whatever recourses that are necessary, we will go there to make sure that we are heard. And as she alluded to, a lawsuit for protecting the Everglades, and the Everglades forever, the Miccosukee tribe initiated that lawsuit because that's how much our people will go to protect the land. Because when we're protecting the land, we're protecting it not only for the Miccosukee people, it's for everyone that has to exist on this land, because we all benefit. For clean water, we all benefit. The plants and the animals all benefit. And if government-to-government consultation would have occurred in the beginning, the concerns of the liability, and the tribe's attorney alluded to it, the River Grass Greenway creates a big liability. Tribal resources are for the protection and the welfare of its tribal members and its posterity. The River Grass Greenway would put more burden on our tribe to commit its resources, as we do now, to the everyday traffic and traveler. Anything that happens out there, we respond. even in Collier County, our tribe responds because we're being a good neighbor. The Rivergrass Greenway will be asked for more people. It projects, what, 500,000 more people to come in. More liability. Who's going to respond? The Miccosukee tribe. The tribe has the determination to decide how they're going to spend their resources. Yet other entities, other individuals are trying to determine how the tribe should spend their resources. How the tribe should provide that safety and welfare. That's an outside entity. It's the tribe's decision. Too many in our time, our people see over and over again someone else trying to decide for us. And as it was mentioned, you have federal laws, you have state laws, you have the UN Declaration of Indigenous Rights that is in place, that indigenous people have the right and to determine for themselves. We're in 2017. And sometimes, you know, people get the wrong impression that we're against other activities, against other people. That's not it. Our people, as a people, have the right to practice our religious beliefs, to live how our ancestors lived, and to continue that into the future generations. That's our decision. Yet here we are today, and I'm glad you gave us the opportunity to express our concerns, because only we can decide of our tribe for our people. The Rivergrass Greenway, it may seem like innocentness to those that had the idea, that it was presented, but there's so much more involved with that it impacts a people. We don't create situations that are caused by development, by pollution, but we have to live with it. And just as now everyone else is having to live with it. And to put those kind of decisions forth, when it involves a multitude of people, they have to be at the table, not just certain individuals. And we want to be very clear on that. And also we here alluded to, and I was reading through the resolution, how somebody has an alternative, how they want to address our concerns, go around our concerns. We've made it clear, our tribe has in their letters that they have sent, that we're trying to be clear that you can't just meander on through. This goes right through our area that is sacred to us. And it's not for another culture to decide what is sacred to the Miccosukee Seminole people. It's for the Miccosukee and Seminole people to decide what is sacred to us. And just as we respect other cultures of what is sacred to them, we respect that. We don't try to go and decide for them. But to perpetuate someone else's view on what they think is sacred is doing an injustice to another culture. And, you know, I grew up in the Everglades. When I say Everglades, I'm talking about the greater Everglades, all the way up to the coast, to the Gulf. What is known as the greater the Everglades of Florida. Today, people dissect it and give it all these different names and try to make it look very disconnected, but we're natural beings in the natural world. Everything is connected. It has to work together. We understand that. Just because you put it in a little box, in another little box, doesn't mean it doesn't work together. Those are man-made boundaries, roads, canals, but we understand that system has to be connected in order to be healthy, just like the human being has to be connected. You lose a kidney, you lose, your heart goes bad, you go bad. The same thing that we understand with the Everglades system. And for us, who we are as a people, we're connected with nature. You can't remove us from nature. That's where we live. That's what we breathe. That's where we're gonna die. One of my aunts, where 11 Mile Road is, on the south side, in that hammock, she was born there. My uncles grew up there. My own mother is laid to rest out in Ochapee, as is my grandfathers and those before me. Where there's a canoe access point right there by the original Turner River. My great-grandfather and them used to have a camp there. On the outside, on the south side of it, another relative had a camp there. Where Blues Cafe used to be.